What's up, YouTube? Alright, I figured today I'd finally do a video about my Technics SA303. I believe this stereo is from 1980-81 from what I found online. I got this stereo from a friend for 20 bucks sitting in his garage. Of course, I had to take it apart and let me get this stuff off the top. I had to take it apart, clean it all up, because the inside, being sat in a garage, was extremely filthy. So, alright, so this is the Technics SA303. Very nice receiver, has great sound to it and lots of bass, and it's only 40 watts per channel. However, it is very, very loud, I can assure you. Alright, so I'll go over the front panel first. Let me turn on this light. Power switch, headphone, might want to have that off instead. Alright, power switch, headphones, speakers, main, remote, or main and remote. And what I like about this stereo, I don't really know what the technology is called, but when you put it on main and remote, it doesn't make the main speakers get quiet. Like another, I had a, what was it, a Pioneer SX50, I think. I don't have it anymore, but when you would put both sets of speakers on, it would make them all get quiet. So it wasn't a very good feature. Got the display here, magnification times 0.1 times 1 and display off, and all that refers to is your VU meters right here, which we'll see in a second. We got bass right here, which is these two are both clicking potentiometers. Not too fond of that on bass, I really don't care, but on the volume I do, which the volume is 1 too. However, this stereo has so much bass to it, I can literally have loudness on, which I never turn loudness off on any stereo I've ever owned. I just don't like to listen to a lack of bass, or I mean, if the quality's there, you might as well have it on. So you got bass here. I can usually listen to it either on 0 or maybe 3. When I listen to like rap, I usually turn it all the way up just because that's the only reason I listen to rap. Treble too. This is probably one of the first stereos I've ever had where I don't always max out my bass and treble. I always do, however, this stereo has so much of it that I can actually turn it down a bit, which I love. It gives me headroom to work with. High filter. Basically the only thing I can see that does, and if anybody happens to know any more about it, just feel free to let me know. The high filter just kind of cuts just a little bit of the highs off, just to make it a little less harsh. I usually leave it off. We got balance here, which is not a clicking potentiometer, which I wish the rest were exactly like that. Loudness switch, tape monitor, source and tape 1, source and tape 2. The input selector, AM, FM, phono, and AUX. This is FM muting, which basically means when you're tuning a station, if you're not on a station, it will mute the sound so you don't have to sit there and listen to static. So when you put it on mono, it turns off that FM muting. You got your volume right here. Tuning, which the tuning is one of those really heavy tuners where all I have to do is just spin it and it'll keep going. I love that. It's a really heavy tuner. Really well built. Alright, so I'm going to turn the unit on now. Oh, by the way, the speakers that I have running on this, and yes, it's funny because they're car speakers, 2 Polk Audio 6x9s sitting in speaker boxes. These are soon to go in my Monte Carlo SS. However, I'm just using them right now because I don't have any spare speakers. Also hooked up to them are these Infinity 6x9s. Both of these speakers, the Polks and the Infinities, are rated at 310 watts maximum. However, these tweeters are blown out. They came out of my friend's car. Alright, so I hooked these tweeters. This is how these speakers hook up. It's just a little box. I think this has to do with, I think the crossover for the tweeter is inside this. Unlike usually when they're mounted like underneath where the magnet is, I think they just put it in the box. So all I did was daisy chain this tweeter in here. It's an Iowa tweeter. junky little tweeter, but it gets the job done. It adds to the high end. The reason I have these hooked up, I'm actually going to put all 4 of these 6x9s in my Monte Carlo and run them off of an amplifier, because these Polk Audios have great bass and great treble. However, the mid is not as loud as these. These Infinities scream. And I mean, they're just amazing. I wish the tweeters worked, but like I said, all 4 of those are going in the back of my car. Alright, so enough of that talk. Let's turn on the stereo. Now, as you can see up in here, this is the dial. I have a couple of dial lamps blown out there. There might be 2 blown out, right? No, it might be 1. And then there's like 3 or 4 right here that are blown out. However, the main part of the dial still lights up, which I like. It's alright. So, let's see. Just gonna show you how it looks. That's the VU meter. Let me get on a radio station here. Okay, I definitely don't want to listen to mainstream music. Oh, the Rolling Stones. Let's spend the night together. Actually, let me close my door open so I can... By the way, anyone who has aftermarket 6x9s in the back of their car, definitely put it in a speaker box. You will be amazed at the sound difference. Don't just run them free air, that sucks. And they blow a lot easier. So I wish I could... Let me switch to remote. These are the Infinities playing. This is the Polk Audios. Now I have to turn the bass down because they're in a box. That's the great thing about a box. You get more bass at half the effort of the speaker.
It's the race to the #1 classic rock song of all time.
The reason that vibration, I just decided to cut a hole out of a box and stick that one in it just because I was bored.
The Fox.
Great song. Anyways, that's enough of that. So the lights we have up here is the VU meter. I actually have the nicest version of this I've seen. I have not seen anyone else who has this nice of a version of this stereo. I have the wood grain finish, which as you can see right here, it's simulated wood. Let me see, there's some black paint here that I need to cover up. I'll repaint that whole grill. It's separate from, that grill is separate from this. So let me see if I can get a shot down. You can see a little bit down there. I had to clean all that up. There's the power caps right there. Transformers right now. And the tuner is right somewhere right in there. Anyways, it's a beautiful stereo. So let's see, what else do you have? You have the VU meters right there, FM tuning, turn that off, FM tuning light, signal strength, and FM stereo, which for some reason it only likes to come on if I switch it to AM and then to FM, because watch, if I switch it from AUX or phono, put it back on FM, it doesn't come in stereo. I have to go click, click. Now it's in stereo. Very odd. I don't understand why it does that. But anyways, so I got a radio hooked up to it. Got a Radio Shack 1/4 inch jack for putting my laptop using Pandora or something like that. For a tape deck down here. This is basically, I consider it my vintage audio setup. It's really, really messy right now, but That's because my room is very small. I don't have much room to work with. So I have up top, I'll do my phono first. I have a Iowa automatic turntable PXE860. It's an automatic turntable, however I ripped the insides out because every time you'd press start, it would bring the tone arm over and it would seat on the record and then it would come back up and then either keep doing that or it would go back and just stop playing altogether. Pissed me off, so I tore out its inside. It's now fully a manual turntable, which I like better. It's got a built-in preamp. It's an okay turntable. I'm probably about to get rid of it because there's no stylus on it. I would give you a demo, but the stylus broke after 3 months. Shows you just how crappy these turntables are. Anyways, right here, I have this is probably the best tape deck I've ever heard. It's so clear. It is a Sanyo stereo cassette deck RD7. And let me see if I don't remember which one this is hooked up to. Alright, tape I have in here is Nirvana Unplugged in New York, just because that's probably one of the only tapes I have left. Anyways, I'll give you a taste of this. It does have a metal setting. You can choose between chromium and metal, and there's also Dolby NR noise reduction. Of course, you got you can't see it right now. Now you can. Got those level indicators. This tape is really worn out, so it might not really express how good this sounds, but it makes even this old, crappy, worn out tape sound great. Sometimes I get a weak channel because of this source selector right here. I need to use a lot more deoxit than I did. Anyways, I'm going to see really quick if I can pull this out. I'm not sure how much tension is on all these wires. Yeah, I can get it enough. Alright, I'm going to show you all the back of the stereo. Shed some light on the subject. Alright, so we'll start over here. Here's all of our antennas, antenna hookups. 75 ohm antenna right here. Not really sure. I think this one's just meant to be like a built-in antenna type thing. AM antenna. I don't listen to AM, so it's not hooked up. 300 ohm FM antenna. That's where I'm hooked up to right now, and a ground, which could probably also be used for a phono if your turntable actually needed a ground to tap in to eliminate buzzing. Have a phono input, which is indeed has a preamp built into it. AUX, tape 2, record and playback. Tape 1, speaker fuses here. That's one of the first things I blew on this stereo. I wanted to have a little fun and do an excursion with it after I knew it worked right. So I had a speaker that came out of a BMW X5, and I decided I wanted to blow it. Completely forgot these pieces of shit were back here. So I blew one of the fuses, had to get a new one. We have an AC outlet right here. This is our speaker terminals. What you do is you just turn these little pieces, just turn them to lock them down. Speakers A and speakers B. And there's the back if you want to, you probably can't read that. There you go. So that's the back. But oh, the other thing, let me put this back in. other thing I forgot to mention. The reason I think this stereo is a lot nicer than anyone else that has, I mean, at least on YouTube. There's only one other person I've seen on YouTube besides me that has this version of the stereo. It could have either came with this simulated wood cabinet, which is gorgeous. It has a very 70s look to it. That's why I love this stereo. I don't like the 80s, but this is a damn good stereo. Or you could have had a regular metal case, kind of like what is on my Pioneer SA520 right there. Great amplifier, by the way. I will do a demonstration on that too. That's actually right now, that's powering those two 10-inch subwoofers that are also going to go into my car. That's powering those off of my Yamaha 5.1 surround sound receiver, because just it doesn't put enough bass into the stereo speakers. Big ass center channel and crappy rear speakers, but they do what they need. So the thing is most people, I think this light is either red or it's orange, and the VU meters are full-time orange, I think. Yeah, this middle light's orange, or red, and the VU meters are orange. However, my middle light is green, and then the first 3 lights are orange, and then the last 2 are red. Just to show you that you're, you know, up there. And there's a difference in these two. I think these are just orange, and then like the last one is red. However, mine is green, 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 or no, red, 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 green, green for 4 and 5. So I have the best setup of this stereo. I absolutely love it. Anyways, it's a fantastic stereo. I'm in love with it. Probably a couple more things that I will do a demo on. My entertainment center right here. I'm not gonna say anything about it yet, just because I'm gonna do a video about it. My computer, custom build. I love this. It's my baby. It's been going for what, 3 years now, something like that. I'll do a demo definitely on these speakers once they get put into my car. I'm going to pick up that car Wednesday. Also, I have a Vox amplifier back here. I play guitar. This is my main guitar. That one's just a Squier, so it doesn't get quite as much love. But this is a 1985 Westone Spectrum DX. Japanese company, only made for 81 to 91. So very rare, and it sounds and plays amazing. It looks as though it'd be a metal guitar, but it does blues like there's no tomorrow. It plays everything. Alright guys, well anyways, that's what I wanted to show you. This Technics SA303. Let me post this video. You guys tell me what you think. Thank you.